Shh! I'm reading.
Hey guys, today I'm coming to you from my phone because my phone has the best camera ever, I've discovered, and it has pretty good audio, but there's like a little kind of in the background which you may be able to hear. Anyway, today I'm going to tell you 6 books that I was supposed to read, but then I just decided to watch the movie for first. These are books that I probably had on my shelf, but couldn't be bothered to read, so I was just like, oh, I'll watch the movie for them. And then I read the books like a while afterwards or straight afterwards, depending on how much I like the movie. Books that I seriously disappointed by watching their movie first. I disappointed these books, I can tell. Whenever I touch these books, I can tell that they're disappointed in me because I didn't read them and I decided to watch the movie, because that's like the worst thing a reader can do. Well, no, the worst thing a reader can do is probably cut their book in half like I did, but we're not talking about that today. The first book is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I didn't actually have it when I decided to watch The Maze Runner. I just kind of saw The Maze Runner on Netflix and I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch that because, you know, it's one of those dystopian trilogies that everyone's going on about. I actually really liked the movie and I also really liked the book. It did take me a while to get through the book because I got it about a week after I watched the movie. I think I was just walking down the street and went into this W.H. Smith's kind of shops and it was just there, the whole trilogy, and another book with it, The Kill Order, which I have not read and I do not plan to read because I tried reading it and I did not like it. Overall, I was very satisfied with both the movie and the book. Even though they were quite different, I did really like both of them. The second book, which is also the second book in a trilogy, is something that I was not so satisfied with, which was The Scorch Trials by James Dashner, the second book in the Maze Runner trilogy. This is the first one. This one I watched the movie for first, as you kind of should have gathered, and I have so many complaints about both the book and the movie. I liked how fast moving the movie was, but the book just seemed to drag on and I got bored, and there were like so many differences between the movie and the book that it was like they were literally 2 different stories with like vaguely the same kind of goal. I didn't like it. I didn't like the book. I ended up listening to like half of the audio tape so I could actually finish it, and the movie definitely, probably, most likely destroyed my enjoyment of this book. So that's a reason I probably should have read the book first. But I didn't, so. Number 3 is 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher, which is a book that I just seem to keep on talking about. It always seems to pop up in my videos these days, which is kind of weird, but I can kind of understand why as well, because it's a pretty good book. This book I watched the TV series for. I remember I started watching the TV series, then I got bored and I stopped. I mean, like, probably about a year later, I decided to go back and start watching again. Picked up where I left off. And then I just binged watched it, and then I binged watched it again and again and again and again, and I got addicted. And I fell in love with Tony because he's just so pretty. And then this Christmas I asked for 13 Reasons Why because, well, I need to read the book if I like the series. I mean, come on. I read it and I wasn't overly impressed with this book. It was kind of, it felt like it went very fast. It felt like Hannah's stories were very quick. I felt like the TV series did a better job of telling them because it just did it in so much more detail. Like, you could just see so much more. It had more of the story rather than everything skipping over everything. Because I feel like there's so much you can question about what Hannah has said in the book because she does it so, she says everything kind of vaguely compared to how it is in the TV series. And I know we're actually watching it in the TV series, so we see a lot more. But I feel like in the book it was very vague, her stories about why she committed suicide. And I didn't really like Clay in the book. Something about him that just annoyed me. And Tony wasn't in it enough, for one thing, and it all happened in one night, whereas the TV series happened over like months. And so, yeah, the TV series definitely destroyed my liking of the book. Although I did like the book, but I probably would have liked it more if I'd read it and then watched the TV series. But I'm not too fussed about not liking this loads because the TV series is pretty great. Number 4 is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I actually bought it after I got the movie. Sister got it and then I just ended up watching it and she didn't like it. She got freaked out by it. It was funny. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it through this book if I hadn't watched the movie and enjoyed the movie, because there are quite a few big differences about how it goes, and I've only read the first book so far in this trilogy, but I just have some issues with it. I have issues with the movie. There was like this cringy fight scene and like a lot of stuff in it that I didn't like. Then I have more issues with the book and how the tone is, and I didn't really like the tone. There was quite a lot of funny moments because I really liked the main character Jake's, like the way he thought, because he did think some pretty funny things at sometimes. I don't know, I had trouble getting through this book because there was just something off-putting about it, and I didn't like I didn't like something about the way the pages were. It's strange. I don't think that really affected me reading it, but I just didn't like it. The fifth book is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Obviously I'd heard like so much about it. I basically knew what it was about. Yeah, I didn't have any immediate plans to read it until I watched the movie. I got the movie for my birthday like 2 years ago, I think. And I watched it, and yeah, I really liked the movie. I mean, it was pretty cheesy and kind of cliche. It was an okay movie, and I quite enjoyed it, and it had 3 good actors in. It had lots of good actors in. Then I decided to read the book, and I was like so let down. I don't think I'd have been able to finish this book if I hadn't watched the movie, and if I hadn't been like spurred on by the liking I had of the movie. Because this book was so annoying. Just the way the scenes were like written sometimes, and the way people talked, like at points. There were points when it was like written, it's how you write a movie script. Like they'd have whole conversations where it was just like me, and then it would have what she was saying, and then it would have mum, and then it would have what her mum was saying. What the hell? That's not how you write a book, okay? It just really annoyed me, and there were just just other things. I don't actually remember a whole lot about what annoyed me, but that's the one that really sticks out to me. I like the movie better. The sixth and final one is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Now this book, I actually have no complaints about this book and no complaints about the movie, because they were just both so similar, because they were actually, I think the screenplay was written by Patrick Ness, and he basically took like almost every scene out of the book and put it in the movie with like almost the same dialogue. So it's basically like after I watched the movie, I then read the movie, and I was just like, oh, okay. I really like this one. I have no complaints about this book or the movie, because they were just both so perfect and so sad, and it was just amazing. This is probably the only book that I've ever been able to watch a movie for and then read the book for and not have any complaints. Like, you know, no book that I've been able to complain about the movie for. So yeah, those were the 6 books that I read after seeing their movies. And I should have read them before, because, you know, I knew that they were books, and I had some of those books. But I didn't, because I was lazy and I just didn't feel like reading them, so I watched the movies. Probably shouldn't have, but like, oh well, I did that. Tell me a book that you knew about, but you watched the movie anyway, and then you went and read it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I'm gonna go and edit this video now, and then try and upload it. See you guys next time. Bye.
I told you. Shh.